Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County home on May 2nd, 2025. There has been no sighting, nothing. Where are they? We're trying to find out.
Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is October 5th, 2025. It is currently 8:02 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Boys. Hi, guys. Good to see you all. I do apologize. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Callie. Thank you, Tada. Thank you, everyone. You guys are so sweet. I really do appreciate you guys are the sweetest. I have the best community. When we get new subscribers, everyone, and I just want to take a note to thank my mods and my chat, because when new people come here, they're like, God, I feel so welcome. This is the kindest, sweetest chat. And I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of us just building a wonderful community. You guys make it great. Who'd I call? Who'd I call? Well, I did call the RCMP. I did call the RCMP and last night and gave them something that may or may not be anything, who knows? Um, and we'll just kind of have to see. So if you missed it last night, we'll go over it a little bit today as well. But guys, before we get started, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, would greatly appreciate that. If we get to 1,000 likes during the live, we have a chicken party. You don't want to miss the chicken party. And share the live out for extra bonus points. Yes, you need some bonus points. So, hey, Smiley, good to see you, darling. Good to see you. So, Okay, you missed last night. Okay. So, what we're kind of going to talk about today is a little kind of kind of building off of what we talked last night. I will go over kind of what we spoke about last night. Anita, Joyce, thank you so much, my dear, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Pearl family. Love your little picture there. Thank you so much. You. Good to see you. And Jen, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate the sending love to the entire community hug. Much love to you, Jen. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you and yours are well. And Andrea, good to see you, my dear. And thank you so much for renewing your membership and gifting a membership. That's very kind of you, my dear. Really do appreciate that, my dear. If you received that membership, please thank our very sweet Andrea for being in here and gifting you that membership. When do you think that the children went missing? Well, went missing versus it's kind of a twofold on that. I personally think something happened Thursday night around bedtime. That's when I think something happened. But I think they were, in my opinion, moved probably after midnight. I'm working on something. I'm trying to see if someone will speak to me and another person. And hopefully we might get a little bit some more information on that and stuff. Everything I say today is my opinion, in my opinion only. The RCMP has not named any suspects by name. In this case, they have not cleared anyone in this case. And form your own opinion, do your own research, all that jazz. Okay. All right. So I should have had it pulled up, but let me pull up what we were talking about last night. So last night I got a tip, a source rather, and they were talking about, they sent me this picture. Give me 1 second because I need to just fix something just to make sure. Should have had this ready, but got so much stuff to do already. So pardon me. Okay. And here we go. So here we go. You just pull it up and be quiet. All right, here we go. All right. So this was sent to me, and this is an image from Mr. Martell in mid 2021. And it says, "This is my brother's car. Please text," and it's got the phone number. "My brother has a 2009 Subaru Impreza." And it's got all the miles and all that. And then it says, it will need the rockers done on both sides and exhaust, like the muffler, the exhaust, will need some work. And it will need back shocks and wheel bearings in the back. The car had the head gasket kit, including the timing kit, and a clutch kit, all put in at approximately 16,000 kilometers ago, and all of that. And this is a blue 5-speed Subaru. I don't know what the hell a rocker is either. I don't know. So this is a 5-speed Subaru. And first of all, 5-speed cars, you know what they sound like, right? And second of all, if it's got a muffler or exhaust issue, might be a little loud, even a little extra loud. Daniel is off his rocker. Yes, I agree with that comment. I certainly agree with that comment. Okay. And I found that interesting. But that's just one thing. Now, let me show you this. So we were noticing this picture, and this picture was taken on Saturday, the day after the kids vanished. And we noticed this key fob right here. And we checked what a 2009 Subaru Impreza key fob looks like. And it looks exactly like the key fob that is here. Subaru has a very distinctive key fob, right? Has a very distinctive key fob. Now, this car could have been sold already, but I wouldn't take Daniel's word for it. Daniel can say it's been sold, but I don't believe anything Daniel says. It looks like a teardrop. Yes, Mohawk. That's the yes. Looks like a teardrop. And I mean, you can absolutely see right here. This is the car, the trunk button right here, right? This is the square button right here, and then up here it has the lock button. It's a match. So at this point, in my opinion, nobody can believe anything Daniel says, because he's been very much inconsistent about everything. Why would he still have the key fob? Well, that's the question. That's the question. And like with the four-wheeler, right? My question is, Daniel, well, my question is not to Daniel, actually. Maybe not. I'm going to hold that. But we know that they got the four-wheeler from off of another property. We know that they got the four-wheeler off another property, right? Key fobs have larger batteries in the side of a quarter. Yeah, they have like the little, like I call them watch batteries. This is not about the circuit board at all. If someone's getting confused, yeah, this is not about the circuit board. Has nothing to do with the circuit board. Completely different. This is a key fob right here attached to key rings right? Yes, the ATV, the four-wheeler, whatever you want to call it, was on someone else's property, right? And my keys then changes it to yes. And that's what he talks about. He's very specific on keys, I noticed, and which it doesn't make sense that he adds. It's completely useless information, unless he is trying to set up something for later, right? He drove the car to take them. Well, all I can say is this is all I can say is that the neighbor said there was a 5-speed. It sounded like a 5-speed coming in and out throughout the night. The blue car is a 5-speed. It does have exhaust issues. That's not me saying that. That is Daniel's ad saying that. And the day after Jack and Lilly vanish, when he was in the bathroom doing whatever Daniel does, this key fob with keys is in there and it goes to a Subaru. You know, every brand of car has a distinctive key fob, right? Now, for instance, if you wanted if you were going to hide someone, right? If you were going to hide someone and you know that the police were going to look at you, because they're going to look at you regardless. If a kid goes missing in your house, you're going to be looked at, right? They're loud cars. Yes, they are. Are you going to use, if you can, use someone else's vehicle, an old vehicle that's perhaps parked on another property? Of course. Of course you are. Now, Daniel, one interesting thing, because it is DT asked him if his cars were checked or not. What do you mean? You don't know if your cars were checked or not? You don't know? Of course you know. Of course you know if they were checked or not, right? You have to know. It's crazy. Okay. Also, um, Daniel, I know you like your ego scratched. I understand it and I get you. But there's always this praise of Mr. Mattel saying, you know, I voluntarily gave over my phone. You know, I told him, here it is, here it is. Well, kumbaya, number one. Number two, they're going to get the phone regardless. Number three, Daniel, even your cousin has ratted you out about allegedly having another phone, a burner phone. But I digress. Here on May 7th, in the morning, RCMP arrived at the home and asked Mr. Martell to hand over his phone, which he said he did. When asked about how police investigating the children's disappearance, uh, Martell's grandmother, Cindy Murray, tells the Globe, we're not discussing anything right now. The police told us not to. That's a lie too, Cindy. But this is what I'm talking about. In the morning, RCMP arrived at the home and asked Mr. Martell to hand over his phone. They asked you to hand over the phone, which you did. You make it seem like you threw it in their lap, Daniel. You've always made it seem like you've thrown it in their lap. No, take it. I don't need this. I want you to just to solve this, right? Get over yourself, Daniel. Get over yourself. It's madness. It really is. Ever heard the song Two Phones by Kevin Gates? One personal, one for dealing. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's that. Daniel talks, in my opinion, a big game. Doesn't back anything up with his receipts. And he's just absolutely incredible. Incredible. All right, let's look at this one moment. Good to see you, love. Thank you. Okay, if we go to DT show and we go to transcripts, let's see here. Key. He's going to, there's keys said 16 times here. 1 second. What'd I do? Okay. All right, give me 1 second. No, I want it to be. Okay. No. All right, watch this. Listen to this.
Lilly and Jack. And then I make my way down. There's a hill behind mom's RV. I make my way down, and Malaya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. It didn't look like she was messaging, but she might have been on speakerphone with that, with the.
I just noticed that right there. She might have been messaging. Daniel, you just keep changing your stories. You said when you ran down the hill, she was on the phone with 911, but now you're saying she might have been messaging.
The dispatch. And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. Ran through the back door, the back sliding door, got into the house, grabbed the keys off the end table, because there was 2 sets of keys, right? And I didn't.
See, there were 2 sets of keys, right? 2 sets of keys. Okay. Why would you say that? Why would you say that unless you're building something for later? He is setting the foundation for something later, I'm telling you, in my opinion. Because there's 2 extra keys, right? 2 extra keys, right? It makes no difference.
Didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone, because there was 2 sets of keys, right?
Okay. He's telling us what's important here. He is telling us exactly what's important here. Front door locked. Front door locked. He wants you to know that. Ran around the back door, right? Went to get the keys because 2 sets of keys, right? He wants the other person to validate, oh yeah, 2 sets of keys. Oh, yeah, 2 sets of keys. How the fuck would I know? Okay. And then what else he wants you to know? Yes, on the end table. Yes. And what else he wants you to know is I didn't take my phone. Right? He wants you to know the front door's locked, that he took, there's 2 sets of keys. He ran around the back door and he didn't take his phone. He's telling you, he's getting everything in that story that he feels like he needs to set the groundwork for. But it's too late, Daniel. You done fucked up a long time ago. Right? Now, most people put their keys exactly, when they get home in a spot or wherever, keep them in their pocket, wherever they keep their keys. Most people don't keep them on a hot water tank, especially while you're banging and clanging around in there.
And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone.
You don't remember taking your phone? But Daniel, you said you used your phone to look in culverts before. But you explicitly said you didn't take your phone, since you like to talk about those documents. You didn't take your phone when you was out searching for Jack and Lilly for that whole 10 minutes. That whole 10 minutes. Right? Is his hot water tank in the laundry room? No, it's in the bathroom. Like oh yeah, he's trying to prove his point. What if the car heard speeding back and forth was D already looking for kids? Well then that would still, it's not going to make him look necessarily any better, because if he's speeding back and forth throughout the night and not calling 911 when it's dark outside, that's not going to look good.
There's no service out there anyway, not like I can use it.
Oh, now he wants you to know I can't use it. It's not like there was service there anyways. It's not like I could use it. Again, setting the groundwork, what a typical hoaxer does. A typical liar. However, Malaya apparently got service at the house, right? Why wouldn't you take your phone? Why wouldn't you take your phone? God forbid, Daniel, you like to talk about how you put your life in jeopardy looking for the children. What if you got hurt? What if your mom found Jack and Lilly, that you did not go bang on her door, by the way, to see if Jack and Lilly was there, the only other adult on the property other than you and Malaya? What if Malaya found them? What if you found them? What if you had an emergency? I mean, so how did Janie get the so-called calls from Malaya while she was out on the four-wheeler with Justin? I think Janie took her phone with her after they were searching, just going around. And in my opinion, they weren't really searching. In my opinion, they were scouting where others were searching or what others were saying. You know what I mean? Oh, Mamacita, Joyous, thank you, sweetsies. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you, Miss Joyous. Love you. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Joyous. Appreciate you guys very, very, very much, my dear. Good to see you. I stayed live last night a lot longer, and we was just kind of talking. I had a good time with Joyous and all of you guys. Kelly was in there. A lot of y'all were in there late last night, so I had a good time talking at the end of that live. Um, well, leave the phone home. One wouldn't want to be tracked by cell towers, of course. Bingo, absolutely. And this is the thing. Not only that, in the own document, Daniel, that you told, you say in another interview that you always take your phone. You never leave home without it, except for conveniently that morning, right? He was, which I believe when he jumped up, he took his phone. He said he went to get his pants on and all that, and they went out in the trailer to look for the kids, and then they went outside, and then he says he runs up the hill and he runs back down. But he also would have taken his phone. He would have taken his phone. He had enough cognitive ability to, know how many keys there was. He remembers that, guys. Also, think about this. I was thinking about this. Daniel and Malaya and all of them, they seem to really not like to talk around 8 to 8:30. And I've said this since the beginning. They don't like to talk to 8 to 8:30. They don't. But they don't remember any timelines in the morning. Right? Daniel says, I was awake. I know the sun was up. I know the sun was up. Doesn't know any times throughout the evening what time that he was out there fixing the fence and all of this BS. Can't tell us any times. But he's like, I have a watch. I don't even check the time. But it's very interesting how Daniel can tell us it was, I think, 12 or 12:30 is when he saw the kids and they flicked on the lights. Really, Daniel? He can tell us anything that would positively reinforce something that would, potentially make him look good or better. But he can't tell us any significant time that maybe would question his timeline or his alibi. Right? Isn't that very interesting? In my opinion, something happened after the fight with the family. I don't understand what you mean, Kelly. Fight with the family? I don't get what you mean, baby. Like, I don't know what you mean by that. Very selective memory. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right, Pink Roses. Yes. And that's why I now think that something happened at bedtime. Because Malaya makes some statements. She says the kids were hyper, and she uses another word I can't remember, Thursday night. And then she says they asked why their bedrooms were separated, same room, just like a wall up between them or whatever, because they would not go to sleep otherwise. They would not go to sleep otherwise. They would be up bouncing around all night. What is that? What is someone particularly high on math? They want it to be quiet. They can't do the loud, right? They can't do the loud. Daniel, yeah, sure does. Yeah, 1000% joy, 1000% joyous. Yeah, I think it was tweaked and he snapped too. Yep. Well, when you said when she said family fight, there was two family fights. There was two family fights. I had always heard that there was perhaps a fight Thursday, and but not with like Malaya's mom and stuff there that I'm aware of, but there was some sort of argument. I don't believe Malaya left all of her clothes that are at her grandma's. Hell no, I don't. Hell no, I don't. Meaning what he was saying is he's worried that he put the kids. There's something of his aunt might. Mm, yeah, yeah. They are tired and lazy because how hyper the rugs will make a person. Yes. Well, that's sometimes I wonder if that's the reason why they missed 42 days. Not only because of, in my opinion, physical abuse, but I wonder because math heads can, after they are up for so long, they crash and they sleep anywhere from 12 to 24 plus hours. They can sleep for days at a time. That's a good point. That's a good point. Malaya called her mom a few times FaceTime. Yeah, I think they were fighting. I think they were fighting all day. Like I've always said, I think Daniel knew it was coming to a close. What's that, Sherry? How do you do that when you have kids? Oh, sadly, I got you what you mean. Sadly, it happens. Drugs never come before kids. It doesn't become before anything. It doesn't even come before the addict's life.
So I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table. Investigators.
Right. So Daniel is telling us here he picked the keys up. That's interesting. Daniel says here that he goes and gets the keys off the end table and leaves his phone on the end table. So you consciously left your phone on the end table, Daniel. Really? That's interesting. So are you saying you had it while you were out looking in the yard, Daniel? Is that what he's saying here? Let's listen to that again. 1 second. I'm gonna back it up.
She's on the phone with 911. I run up into the woods where the cabins are and look in the cabins, look around the area. Didn't see them. I'm screaming and yelling, Lilly and Jack, Lilly and Jack, Lilly and Jack. And then I make my way down. There's a hill behind mom's RV. I make my way down, and Malaya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. Kind of looks like she was messaging, but she might have been on speakerphone with the dispatch. And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. Ran through the back door, the back sliding door, got into the house, grabbed the keys off the end table, because there was 2 sets of keys, right? And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone because there's no service out there anyway, not like I can use it. So I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He is telling us he went to go get the keys and he left his phone on the end table. So Daphne, I am so sorry I fell asleep earlier. I was laying down, taking a cat nap. I was just laying down and I took a cat nap. I'm sorry I missed your live, darling. I'm so sorry. But he is telling us right there, Daniel left his phone on the end table. I know, Dad. I'm sorry. I'll make it up, promise. He is telling us right there, he went to go get his keys and he left his phone on the table. So you know it. You know you did, Daniel. You're just telling us right there. I think he took a burner. I think he took a burner. Mini Panthers, how you doing, girl? I know. It's been 22 months. A member, not 11. Everything I need to know about Malaya parenting is what mom doesn't go meet the teachers with her kids spent time. Yep. 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 They were not active at all, Minnie. They were not active in so Nishi made a good point. Great channel, by the way. Great channel. Love her. She made a great point. Children that miss 42 days of school, 41, 42 days of school. And Malaya is saying they are behind all the other kids in the school. Well, yeah, because there's only 180 school days a year, and they've missed 42 days of that. A child doesn't get the socialization that they need. They don't learn their curriculum the way that they need, right? And that clearly shows if there's not a true medical reason why a child should be off, which they should have the makeup work and do that, by the way, that of course they're behind and they don't have someone helping them at home because they're receiving a lot of black eyes for a 4 and a 6-year-old, right? And if they're perhaps hungry and they don't get the nutrition that they need, well, of course, their little brains can't focus because their little bellies are hungry or malnourished. So go to hell, Malaya and Daniel. Go to hell for that. I know. I know, Diana Rose. I find it strange that basically Daniel is asking for confirmation that there is 2 sets of keys. Such an odd comment to make. It is. And I I made a mental note when I heard that. And then I got to thinking, and then all of this key stuff, the someone sent me the thing about the Subaru, and then I looked at the key fob on that, and it's the exact same, because he is telling us what he wants us to know. Remember, a liar only tells you what they want you to know. They don't tell you what they don't want you to know, right? So we have to dissect and read between the lies, is what we have to do. And then we have to compare them to other things they have said that doesn't match up and see, well, this doesn't match up. So why are you saying this? It's really sad. The truth is the lies. Yep. Yep. That's right. Holly, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I love you, Holly. I just saw that. Oh my God, your little babies. So cute. So cute. I want a palm. And no one had asked Daniel if he was under the influence the night before his kids. Oh, well, Pink, he's going to deny that. He tells us that he's going to Narcotics Anonymous 2 or 3 times a week just to, combat the rumors. Means nothing. And I don't believe you're going 2 or 3 times a week anyways. I hope you are, Daniel. But the way you speak about going to Narcotics Anonymous, it's not someone that's particularly active in NA would speak like. I'm just saying. Hey, Kelly. Thank you, love. I appreciate you, Miss Kelly. Good to see you, darling. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Very kind to me. Good to see you, Miss Kel. You received one of those pearl necklaces. Make sure you thank our girl, Kelly, for gifting you that pearl necklace, my dear. Good to see you, Kelly. And thank you so much again. Mini Panthers, good to see you, my love. Thank you so much. Also, so lazy to remove Jack's pants, put pull-ups and dirty pants back on to sleep in. Clean sheets, clean jammies, and a bath, please. Yes. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Because they tell us that Jack and Lily went to sleep in the same clothes that they had wore out all day. And to be honest with you, they might have had the same clothes on for more than one day. They put them in this, they went to bed in the same clothes, allegedly, that, well, not, I mean, they're telling us, not allegedly, they went to bed in the same clothes that they put them to bed in. And Minnie makes a good point here. So to put a pull-up on, right? You got to take the pants off. And so Malaya just puts the dirty pants back on him. I mean, what kind of lazy BS is that? No, bath time. Let me tell you something. Whenever you have little ones, from time my kids were infants to when they, were elementary school, all of that, they're, one second, y'all. The bath time becomes a ritual, right? And kids, adults, they need ritual and routines, right? So whenever You give them that bath time. They know, babies, they recognize this. Even as infants, they recognize this. Oh, this is time when I'm supposed to calm down and go to sleep, right? After this, you'll get your bottle or whatever, get clean jammies on, and go to sleep, right? You put the lavender lotion on them. They're all nice and warm, and you put them to bed. And then you're like, oh, okay, I can rest now. That's what most parents do. Ritual, schedule, routine, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. So very good point, Mini Panthers. Very good point. So Daniel he's telling us what he wants us to hear right here.
Investigators would know that for 100%.
Of course.
So grab my keys.
So I personally don't care when they say, oh, well, they've checked Daniel's phone. Okay, well, he just told you he left it fucking home, number one. Number two, well, they've checked Daniel's bank account. He's fucking broke. They took Malaya's grandma's credit card that day to buy everything that they bought. So that don't make a damn either. And they don't have any money anyways. So miss me with that shit, personally. Sorry, that doesn't mean shit to me. Well, yeah, Grey Wolf, I agree. Nobody has enough clothes for 6 weeks. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. You can tell those jackets of those poor kids was not washed. I mean, nobody would torture their self to do 6 weeks worth of laundry. Nobody would torture themselves that. To load 6 fucking weeks of 5 individuals' laundry in a car with a bunch of kids and then take it, bring it in the house, right? Sort it, wash it, dry it, fold it. They probably didn't fold their shit, but anyway, fold it and take it back in the car, load up the kids, unload the kids, take the laundry and all that back into the house, and then put it up. Who would do that to themselves? You would do it in smaller batches. Daniel said they did laundry every 6 weeks. And I said, whether they needed to or not. We do laundry every 6 weeks. Thank you very much, whether we need to or not. I can't miss 6 hours of not doing laundry. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you, Miss Sue. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, dear. Well, their little jackets and stuff were so fucking filthy. How many clothes they all have. And I do not believe for a second, and I wish Malaya would tell somebody so it gets out at least. Did she get her clothes? Did she get her clothes? Because Daniel and Junkyard Janeth are saying that Malaya left her clothes at her grandma's. Now, she might have left some clothes, but she didn't leave all of her clothes there. Yep. Bingo. Exactly. So where does Janie do laundry since? No, Janie does all of her laundry in that little washer spinner. Right. The bed sheets and stuff, it's just going to smell like gas and pork rinds. No stopping it. You can't fit it in the washer spinner.
Grab my key or grab the keys, ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when I started.
He says he ran to the Nissan Pathfinder. Lobster, good to see you, honey. He wants us to know that he ran to the Nissan Pathfinder. What did you? And I believe he might have used the Nissan Pathfinder earlier, but not during the night. I don't believe you used the Nissan Pathfinder during the night. What did you use, Daniel? What did you use? Right. Daniel is very, very specific about some things, and other things just slips his mind, you know. Okay. Remember when they towed Malaya's vehicle? Was it Malaya's vehicle they towed on Saturday? Was it Malaya's vehicle that they towed on Saturday? Did something happen to it? Did they tow it because it quit working? Why did they tow it? Absolutely. Yeah. I think it was broke Malaya's car. Flat tire. Thank you, Sue. Where does Janie use the bathroom? I don't think it really matters with Janie. I mean, have you... Shut up, Justin. Forgive me, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm being just petty right now. Sorry. He said it was in the way. What was in the way? Tag me in that, Brandy, so I know what you're saying. Justin, waiting to see a certain part of that interview that you are going through. We'll have a question about it. Okay. Yeah, I know, Sassy, but some things I get really... I don't want to get... I don't know. It's just a conviction of mine. You know what I mean? Like I get nasty with them, of course, but there's some things I just try not to say. It might be an intrusive thought, but I don't want it to come out. I think it was so that they didn't have to go back there. No, Wolf. Thank you, baby. I want Yep. Let me look at something, guys. One second, guys. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I've got some of these. I do got some of these right here. So this was... Now, Is Belinda in here? Belinda, are you in here, honey? We're going to come back right back to this. Oh, thank you, Lobster. Good to see you, baby. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope Belinda's in here. I need to ask her something. We'll come right back to this. So, from what I understand, Justin has a newer vehicle, and I think it's one of these trucks here, right? Hey, Belinda. Thank you so much, darling. Belinda, do you know what kind of vehicle Justin has? A Cadillac Escalade is like a huge SUV. It's the biggest SUV you can buy on the market. Lady for Justice, thank you so very much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, lovies. Appreciate you. Belinda, I'm going to email you back. I keep promising you that, but I need to ask you some things as well, just to see if we can do something, perhaps. But does Belinda know what kind of vehicle Justin has? Windy and Wentworth tonight. I can almost bet M had a lawyer and they have instructed her to stay quiet. M has a lawyer on that place. Yeah. Yeah. No, she said, okay. So, next question, Belinda. Is this all of the cars that was there when you saw them Saturday? Is this the cars that was there? Yeah, well, we're going to figure it out. There's just certain things you can't say specifically on here because you don't want maybe certain people to know until you find out. You get what I mean? Certain things. So let's look at this. Those are mooring out on the road, right? Okay. Okay. So there's this vehicle. I don't know what kind of vehicle this is. This is this white? I don't know. It might be because of the glare. Nissan, truck. And then, of course, a four-wheeler. And then look at all the dirt packed down the next day. I do not believe they did that night. I do not believe at all. At all. Not a chance. Not a chance. I think Earl and Janie are taking up for their little baby math boy. Look at his little teethers there. All fucked up with math and shit. Sorry, I'm in a mood. You just don't do something to kids. Man, you just don't do it. What's wrong with these? All right, here we go. Oh, 1 second. So this person, and I don't know if it's the same person or not, but I believe this person has mentioned a couple of things. One of the things mentioned was that they heard a vehicle around at 5 a.m. Or some point a 5-speed vehicle. Is there a vehicle that was visited to you? Maybe not that night, but other nights. Maybe they're confused about the timeline. That's at 1:16:13. Oh, this is interesting. Sorry, I just screamed like a white woman, like a middle-aged white woman. Oh, sorry. I get excited sometimes. Look at this. Mr. Mattel says 5-speed other than my brother. And my brother has a wife and a family, so he's not driving out there in the middle of the night. But it shows that your brother sticks to the 5 speeds, right? That blue Subaru was his, and now he's got another 5-speed, right? And Daniel, did you happen to buy this car, or did your dad have it on the property? Were you? Hold on a second. Daniel said he was trying to get a car on the road. A car on the road. And it says that in one of the very first articles or pieces, he says it's I think it's this. No, I think it's one of these recent pieces. Said his vehicle wasn't working at the time. He was trying to get it on the road. Living in the area where it does snow, I would think Justin sure was the only one crying hard. Hold on, I might know where that is. All right, let me play this. 1 second. Give credit where credit is due. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. Give me credit where credit is due. Maybe. Where the hell did I do with it? Sorry, guys. There we go. All right.
Started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? For 100%. So grab the keys, ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when
See, again, he's talking about those keys again. That's when he says, grab the keys.
grab my keys,
grab my keys,
grab my key, or grab the key,
or grabbed my key.
ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder. So
And-
grab my keys, grab my key, or grab the keys.
Grab my keys, grab my key, or grab the keys. I'm telling y'all, there's something about the fucking keys. He wouldn't have said that he went inside to get the key. He's like, well, he said because there's two keys, right? There's two keys, right? Justin went back to his wife right after. Of course, yeah. 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 Nobody says that because there's two sets, right? And I'm telling you, there's something about these fucking keys.
Ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder.
And guess what, Daniel? We're going to find out.
And that's when I started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? So I went up Lansdowne Road, and I already told investigators this, but that blanket was not there in that tree.
Which direction were you
That
heading?
would be when I'm coming out the end of the driveway, and I'm going right toward Lansdowne Road, over the tracks, and then hanging a hard right.
So you were coming the direction that would have been visible to you, and you didn't see it.
Yeah, I'd be going right at the end of the driveway. I take a right. I'm going up the road.
Across the right of the tracks and then the right up of the dirt road.
Yeah, that's Lansdowne Road where the blanket was found.
All right. So
Wolf,
when you're running around,
Justin came with the ATV. So this had to be on Earl's property. I agree. Yes, because Justin has a family doesn't mean he wasn't involved in it. 1,000%. Janie said she sent Justin to go get the ATV. Yes, she did. But where did they go get it? Did they go get it at Earl's? How far does Justin live from Math Tells? Because Janie says it's hers. Oh, I believe Ron has an ATV. Absolutely. Ron has all kinds of junk on that property. Sassy, I mean, sometimes people can be crying because they know what happened or what they saw earlier. I don't think Justin is as big of a fuck up as Daniel, that's for sure. Like, I think Justin actually tries to get ahead in life and support his kids and stuff personally, but Ron has video of him on the ATV with buddies. Really, Mohawk? Do you have that?
and as you're going outside and you're looking, that gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't.
There we go. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Belinda said the ATV was supposed to be at Earl's. He had taken over payments for it. It's very interesting. 1000% peacemaker.
Remember if the I don't remember.
Okay.
Hold
And
on,
so
what?
you're going outside and you're looking. That gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Listen to this.
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't remember if the I don't remember.
Okay. And so you come
It's
around.
not hard. It's not hard to open up gates anyway. They're just slide. Like I always forget to close. My mom always reminds me, but they're just a slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing hard about those locks at all.
Well, maybe not, but I'm just kind of curious because if you can unlock it and open it, but if you're on the other side of the fence and you're small, can you close it?
Yeah, you can.
Daniel doesn't know if the gate is open or not that morning. That's one things you're going to remember. Was the door open? Was the gate open? How did they get out of the yard, Daniel? So you're full of crap on that, Daniel. You know it, I know it, and everyone else knows it, that you're full of crap on that. Damn it. All right, that should be good now. So, Daniel, one thing you're going to know is if the gate was open or not. You're going to know if the gate was open or not. You're going to know if the gate was open and the door was open, because you're going to want to know how the kids got out. You and Malaya are going to know that. You're full of crap, Daniel. You know it, I know it, and everyone else knows it too.
All you do
Doesn't remember that, but he remembers a time of 12:30 in the night when he checked on Jack and Lilly, but only knows he was up when the sun was up. You're full of
is
crap.
just pull the fence close to you and then close it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it may not be.
He's giving an out there, right? He's giving an out to where he is saying the kids could have got out, right? The video I saw didn't have a gate, only the one going to his mom's. Hey, Deception, good to see you, my friend.
Be a clue there. So you're out there searching in the woods. How long before law enforcement arrived?
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But then when I looked at the documentation and, asked questions and dug further, it was 22 minutes, I do believe.
And were you at the house when they arrived?
I was actually, when they were arriving, I was actually coming back to the house in the car.
Exactly, Deception Detective. He'll interview with everyone except the biggest channels questioning him or covering him. He will not interview with anyone that's going to ask him, that's going to press back at him. That's just it. If you press him back, not going to happen.
And I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Because they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malaya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder. And I parked over on the right-hand side of the marsh.
See how he's very specific again? Very specific. What the hell's happened to my computer? He's very specific again. I parked it over there because Malaya has a 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Useless information. Useless. unless, in my opinion, he wants to build the foundation for a narrative for later.
You know, going toward Lansdowne Road, there's a marsh that's right beside the house there. Probably can pull that up on the map. There's a little driveway that's right beside it. It's about 100 feet from the house.
Okay. Around here?
Yeah, that's actually the marsh, and there's a little driveway right on the left-hand side right there. Yep. That's where I parked in the white Nissan Pathfinder.
Okay.
And then when I jumped out of the car, the RCMP yelled at me from in the yard, right? Because they could see me clearly.
Yeah.
And they said, Daniel, don't go back into the woods. So at that point, I didn't go back into the woods. I walked over to the house and I went down. I was talking to my mother because the RCMP just, you know, officers just sworn Malaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they asked you to stay there. They asked her to stay there. Did they look into your Pathfinder or the Pathfinder? Did they search it?
No, they didn't at all. Now,
at any point?
Not that I know of.
If they did not look in that Pathfinder, in my opinion, they need to be charged. Whoever is in lead investigation, if they didn't look in that damn Pathfinder. I don't think the Pathfinder was used. I don't think it was used. But I do think that is why he keeps saying, yeah, I was in that Nissan Pathfinder. I was in that Nissan Pathfinder. We got 2 keys, right? I was in that Nissan Pathfinder. I do believe they need to look at it, and they should have looked at it, but I don't believe he used that Nissan Pathfinder, in my opinion, as a means to perhaps, allegedly, my opinion, remove anything or to commit any sort of crimes. How did the RCMP know his name before meeting him? Good question. That's a very good question, Daphne. That's a very good question. They didn't. But he wants, it seems like, he wants to be one of the boys, right? He wants to be one of the boys. Daniel has a way, it's a manipulation tactic is all it is. Just like when he's talking to Daniel here, he's totally manipulating. Well, Daniel, you know, this... Oh, give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. My monkey tears up every one of my USB cords, and I have to buy them nearly weekly.
Now, was this the vehicle that went with Malaya? Like, I think it was towed later.
Listen to this.
Yeah, it was actually towed by Commander of Operations. The guy's name is Josh. He was actually pretty pissed about where they left it. They left it right at the bottom of Lansdowne Road when they left.
Interesting. And so,
Yeah. So he was pretty pissed about it. He said,
Thank you, lady.
what he said
Appreciate
is
you,
that
my
goddamn
love.
fucking vehicle's always in the way of the search
Watch this.
vehicles, right?
Listen to what Daniel says.
And so,
Yeah. So he was pretty pissed about it. He said what he said is that goddamn fucking vehicle's always in the way of the search vehicles, right? So he said, he's like, I had it towed out of here. It was White River Towing or something like that.
That's not why it was towed, Daniel. You know that, and I know that, because it was in the way. They could have moved the damn. You could have moved the damn vehicle if that was the case. There was a lot of cars in the way. Yeah, he's trying to make a big deal out of it, but he's also trying to seem like, he's really cool with the chief.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about where it was left because they use that road quite a bit.
And you don't, I mean, when it was towed, were you still in communication with Malaya?
No.
Okay.
And my wallet was left in the car when it was towed. And then when I got my wallet back, everything was taken out except for my actual important stuff, like my driver's license, my bank card, my health card. All that stuff was still in there, but all the other stuff was taken.
Interesting. And did the investigators ever tell you that they didn't search it?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so there's a possibility that they searched it and just...
Wasn't Daniel the last one to drive it? I would assume, yeah. I would assume, Joyous.
My bank card, my health card, all that stuff was still in there, but all the other stuff was taken.
Interesting. And did the investigators ever tell you that they didn't search it?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so there's a possibility that they searched it and just you're just not aware of it.
That is true. That could be true, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they can't tell me everything, so.
Right. And it is her vehicle, so I'm not sure if they would come out and say, hey, we searched her vehicle to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, they tell me lots of things, but it's just some things they don't.
Well, I'll ask you this. Did they search your other vehicles on the property?
I'm not totally sure. For the first couple of days, like I wasn't at the house, but I imagine they did.
Okay. Well, I would imagine.
That's what Nishi, I think she calls lizard lips. Daniel's licking his lips there, right? I don't think it matters if they searched any vehicles on the property. Because I don't think the vehicle or the means of transportation that was used either Thursday night, early hours of Friday morning was on that property.
That they would have. That would have been a big oversight to not do that. And I'm not an assumption. It's just an assumption that the reason you don't know about it obviously is because, well, Malaya and you weren't talking. So at this point, you arrive. Officers are talking to Malaya. How long before the search team gets there?
The search team was actually fairly quickly. They actually had the command center and everything set up pretty fast. They had a lot of different.
Yes, they did.
I don't know what you would call them, search teams or dispatchments of different units. There's 23 different search organizations or search teams in Nova Scotia from each area. They have a total of 23.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if all 23 made it here, but there was some from the South Shore. I mean, a lot from all over Nova Scotia. And they had the Nova Scotia Guard called in. And the first helicopter arrived on scene within the first hour and a half, which was, I do believe I was told that's a record for making the first helicopter to a search.
That is pretty impressive, an hour and a half. And
drones were up within minutes. I know, Jen. Within minutes. By 10:35, they were already checking the lake and stuff there with drones. 10:35, 10:40. Remember, Daniel and Malaya say up to 20 minutes the kids could have been missing. And that is from the last time they heard them, right? They could have been playing another 5 minutes or 15 minutes in the house and played 2 minutes outside and could have been 1 minute ahead. You know, it takes them, I'm sure, a second for a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old to get their boots on and stuff. They couldn't have been that far ahead, which Daniel now says he doesn't believe the kids are in the woods around there. So they've been taken.
And the dogs.
But they had drones out. They had drones out much quicker than that. They had drones up within the first 30 to 40 minutes, I think.
Damn right they did.
Wow. And how long before the dogs got there?
The dogs came much later. They were there that day, but for the first, I don't know when the dogs actually showed up, but for the first few hours there was no dogs.
First few hours there were no dogs, and those were air sniffing dogs, whatever they're called, right? Air sniffing dogs. So that didn't get a scent. Nothing on there. Thank you so much, sweet Joyous. Thank you, love. Daniel parked his car by the bog. Daniel is a bog. I don't like that word bog. Daniel is a bog. But now he's saying they left it at Lansdowne Road. Who left it? Good point. Good point. Notice how also the pink blanket in the woods, the footsteps, shoe prints rather, they are all toward Daniel's uncle and Daniel's dad's house, right? Not any other way. Perhaps, Daniel could have, I don't know, borrowed a car, a blue car from there, borrowed perhaps, I don't know, an ATV from there. Don't know.
There was no dogs in the New Glasgow
Very
area.
good point,
We don't
Joey.
even have a canine unit in New Glasgow right now, like in Pictou County. So in Major Crimes told me that. They said that we don't have a canine unit in Pictou County anymore.
Gotcha.
So a lot of the resources are coming from northeastern Major Crimes, which is the Truro area.
Understood.
Like 45 minutes to an hour away.
So it did take them some time to get out.
Yeah, but we had the best search dogs in the province at the house. They belong to Halifax Search and Rescue.
Good deal. And so you weren't allowed to go into the woods. Where were you at during this time?
I was actually back by Mom's RV talking to her, and we were wondering why we couldn't go back into the woods. And then a number of minutes passed. I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes passed, and
Deception Detective, it's Drunk Turkey pod, Drunk Turkey Show, and that's DT Show. He's a good guy. We differ extensively on this case, him and I do, but he's a good guy. I completely disagree with him on this case, but we've agreed on a lot of other cases. So yeah.
Guy in military gear. It said Oliver on the back of his on his shirt or vest or whatever you want to refer to it as, or uniform, we'll call it.
Yeah.
He actually said, Daniel, you can go back into the woods. And I actually believe he was.
I didn't get a text.
He was later on. He was a canine handler, but I don't know if the dog was there yet. at that point.
Understood.
Because I remember seeing him with a canine unit, I'm pretty sure, later on in the search.
And so you were
Webbs, I mean, I hope he's playing Daniel like a fiddle. Like, I hope that's a strategy. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, because I really feel like he's too intelligent to think. I mean, I'm trying not to talk ill or anything like that, but it's the boots were by the front door. The kids were, hold on. Yeah. All the pictures of the kids' boots and the backpacks are at the front door. Their coats and all that. I hope Daniel just keeps talking. I don't think he can help
allowed
himself.
to go back in the woods.
Yeah. So and then I immediately jumped the fence and I was right back into the woods and I did all the streams.
Daniel wants you to know he jumps the fence because, opening a gate is just not Daniel, right? He needs you to know this. I mean, the super math tell, forget about it. He outruns helicopters. So he jumps the fence. You go, Daniel. You go, boy.
Streams that were up behind the house that lead into that little marsh.
Why
That's
does he
actually
say
to the
this
left of the
shit?
house. You showed.
Now, I don't know how
He's a
true
man's
this is,
man,
but
that's
rumors
right.
it is that at some point you heard a scream and you thought it sounded like the kids. When was
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he's a man's man. I'm sorry, I was gonna.
That was later on. That was that would have been. It was still on that same stream path when I was walking up through the woods. I thought I heard a scream, but you have to remember, I had a helicopter right above me. There was drones. There was already people searching at this point. So I don't know if it was actually a child scream or not, but it did sound like a scream. But it could have been somebody yelling for the kids, right?
Right, and Daniel, out of the 150 searchers, seems like you're kryptonite. I hope so, Deborah. I fucking hope so. Out of the 150 some searchers per shift searching for Jack and Lilly, Daniel, the one that RCMP has interviewed the most, the one that people has side-eyed the most publicly, the one that keeps changing his story, the one that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He says he thought he heard children out there. That's the only report that we have of someone maybe hearing children. Also, he does this weird video of recording himself for 30 minutes searching for Jack and Lilly. And I think he gives that to Malaya. Malaya, please release that to someone. Please, if you have it, release that to someone. Now, remember, Malaya says in the documents that Daniel was acting erratic the first couple days. He was acting erratic. And the family seems to back that up as well, because Daniel's, bouncing around saying nobody is doing anything, like he's the only one searching. But they realized once they found the math why he was the one bouncing around. Everyone was acting normal and searching, but they weren't running in front of helicopters. In my opinion, simple. What's hard is holding the lad together with everyone else. That's why Janie wrote all of hers down, then reacted her day. Well, that's the thing. That morning, you can shred it all to hell because they don't even remotely match up. They don't even remotely match up. Believe it or not, he's got math in his hair. What does that mean? Cat. Janie said she didn't answer M's call because she was talking to a lady with the toddler on an ATV. I don't know what the point of that was saying that. Well, if you go to, they did that big piece on Jack and Lilly, the Canadian News. It's a big article. Maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago. And Daniel, again, is trying to build the narrative. And he says that, why do people bring their kids to search with other kids? It could have been the kids, kid's footprint or something like that. Well, Daniel, there was one child there, and that one child was on the ATV with its mother, and they were driving around on their ATV looking for Jack and Lilly. They weren't getting out in the bogs or the swamps or the woods and searching on foot. But again, it's just another narrative Daniel wants to use. Okay.
That's possible too. Yes, 100%.
But it was so hard to tell because the way the helicopter was going, it was going slow and doing. I was like, I almost swear I could feel like the rotor wash that was coming down off of the wind, because sometimes they would go pretty low.
I'm surprised Daniel didn't swing from a rope from the helicopter. He's such a majestic beast.
Because the vegetation was pretty dense, because a lot of it's not hardwood, so there's no leaves, right? It's evergreen, so you have trees that are full of needles, so it's much more hard to get a good view from a helicopter.
I would say it's less hard to see through evergreens than it is leafy vegetation any day.
Through that stuff.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it being very difficult. At any point that first day, did they question you guys at all, as far as maybe perhaps?
Yeah, I actually sat in my mother's vehicle, and Commander of Operations came down from the command center, and me and him sat in there. And
hold on a second.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I actually sat in my mother's vehicle, and
What does his mother drive? Good night, Violet. What does his mother drive? He is his biggest fan. Yes. Same vehicle as Malaya, I believe. So does she have is the other Nissan hers? The other Pathfinder? Does it actually run?
Commander of Operations came down from the command center, and me and him sat in there, and we went over some of the stuff we're going over right now. Did you know the kids are going to be home from school that day? Would you have kept the kids home from school that day? What happened in the morning? Did you see the kids that morning? This is a lot of the similar questions you're asking me now.
Yeah, I can imagine so. And that happened that first day. So nighttime comes in. Around what time does the search stop on the first day?
The search doesn't stop on the first day. They go right through the night.
Interesting. And when are you notified about a blanket?
If we're referring to the blanket that was up in the tree, or
Right,
just
well,
the blanket in general.
Well, let's rewind then. So there's been a lot of confusion that you
Yeah.
had denied that the blanket in the tree was Lily's that ended up being Lily's. Was there another blanket that was found out there?
There is actually another blanket. There is a full pink blanket. I was shown a picture of it, splayed out on the ground. Officer Karen Mason showed me that. She was involved in quite a bit of the, just back and forth stuff between the command center and me and Malaya and Mom and, some of the people involved, and just trying to relay information, keep us up to date and stuff like that.
And this pink blanket that they found, was it something that they found close to the house, or?
I'm not sure the location where it was found. There was a pink blanket. There was a water bottle. There was a children's T-shirt, and there may have been a sock or socks too, showing me as well. But none of them belonged to Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's. None of them were Jack's.
Do you know if all those items were found at the same place?
None of them were Lily's.
I'm not
right?
sure where they were found. I was just told that, are any of these items Lily and Jack's? We found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
Okay, that makes sense, because that vehicle doesn't look like it works. First, I heard this about Janie's vehicle. Have all the vehicles been searched by cadaver dogs? Daniel says no. He sure dodged the blanket question, talking about the officer being involved, name dropping. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, Janie said she only talked to police 2 times. More lies. Yeah. Why does he go into detail what she does? Just answer the question. He does lick his lips a lot, but that's normal for him. But the tongue sticking out is not. He's nervous.
No, they were not photographed. They were photographed individually.
Okay, so
Photographed individually.
most likely then they were not found together.
Yeah.
And around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When was that one found?
That was found, it would have been during the daytime. So, because I remember I was actually standing on the front deck when she brought her phone up to show me. So that would have been sometime during the day. So I'm saying between noon and
He's so wrong right
4
here.
p.m. probably.
So, 4 is when they found the
Night
pink
landed
blanket
early.
that was Lily's. That was a portion of the blanket, correct?
Yeah. I'm not sure on the exact time on that either. It would have to be after 4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. And
Because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns at my Uncle Ron's house, which is about 500 feet past where the blanket was found.
gotcha.
Okay. All right. So, 1 second, y'all. I'll play this.
And the bus
We're
usually
gonna
goes up
move on to
there.
something else.
The bus usually makes its way up there around, I don't know, 3:55, between 3:55 and like 4 o'clock.
And this bus has cameras, correct?
Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went.
Yeah, they go both directions. They have multiple buses.
And it was not seen at 3:55, 4 o'clock when the bus passed.
No, they said they did not see it on any camera footage from the buses. So
That is how far?
All right. Sonny was talking about was talking, because blanket was found at 3:45. Bingo. Was talking about something the other day, and It's very interesting, and she's absolutely right about it. In the documents, it redacts any sort of times. But as very commonly happens when you request information from law enforcement, we call it a FOIA here. Sometimes they forget to redact something or redact. Sometimes they don't even redact all of it accidentally. I've had that happen in the Michael Vaughn case. But they redact every sort of time. However, they did not redact something very interesting, and it is the part where Miss Janie says the kids might have went missing around 8:30. Which is very interesting. And I want to play something right here that, can y'all hear me? Okay, yeah, you can still hear me. That old Miss Sunny was talking about the other day. I found this very, very interesting. I think it was this one. Oh, might have been this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Bear with me, guys. One second. All right, let me just go to this. I can play it right here. We're going to compare it. Ecole. Sorry, I got to find it, guys. I got too many tabs open. I got too many tabs open in my brain and on my computer, and not enough storage space in either one of them. Damn, what did I do with it? Justin, come on. Man alive. I think it's this one. Oh, here it is. Me too, Justin, for real. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this.
There was an argument at the home between Malaya's family members and some of Daniel's family members. One of Malaya's family members hurled an accusation that Daniel had something to do with the children's disappearance. And this stemmed from a discussion about meth use in the home. Daniel told me about the fight on the first day I met him. And I also learned that his mother, Janie McKenzie, kicked Malaya's family members off the property. After that point, at a briefing, a police update that Daniel and Malaya attended together, Malaya left the briefing in tears. And when Daniel tried to speak to her alone, her mother would not let him. And that there was also an altercation there that resulted in Malaya leaving with her mother.
I think after that bathroom incident and Malaya breaking down, I think Malaya had told her mom or someone a little bit more, and she was
cutting off contact with Daniel, and the two have broken up. She's changed her Facebook status to single, and she has not come back to the community.
we had been asking him questions about these allegations of drug use, and he responds essentially saying, look, he's got nothing to hide. He acknowledges he's done meth and other drugs in the past, but he doesn't struggle with them. And the way he explained it to us was he was attending Narcotics Anonymous essentially to clear his name.
What do you make of all of the speculation that's going on? So many people are waiting.
Well, I can already tell you the drug party is absolute bullshit.
Yep.
And I even asked the RCMP, give me drug tests. I asked CPS, give me drug tests.
Yep.
They said, no, it's not a concern. We're not going to do that.
Has anyone ever heard of CPS saying it's not a concern? And Daniel, you say that CPS was there for the kids learning, and then you said something else. You piece of garbage. Why would you offer a drug test if they weren't there for something else? If they're there for this learning, which CPS, DHS does not do, let's say they're there just to learn, you would just walk up to him and say, hey, will you give me a drug test? No. And why the heck is he in a... Yeah. That shows you that he's lying right there. Yeah, they're going to get your hair. They're not going to... I mean, they will do a urine probably as well, but that's the rapid they normally do. So again, I mean, it is amazing to me that he is lying to us, the world, with something that is so easily provable. What else would he lie to us about? What else would he lie to us about? I mean, if he thinks people believe that, well, first he said that they were there for the kids' learning disabilities. Well, first of all, they don't have a learning disability. You guys just didn't put them in school and give them an enriched learning environment. So there's that. They don't do that. And then you said they were there because of the kids' behavior. They are not, CPS doesn't come because of kids' behavior. They come because of the parents' behavior, creating a possible unsafe environment. Daniel, I did foster care for 8 years, honey. I can tell you, they don't come for any of that stuff. The CPS is there for safety, the welfare, the safety of children. That's it. It's her Temu outfit. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much, my love. Thank you, baby. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. And you're very good to me, dear, as well. Thank you so much. Love you to pieces. Cheek swabby. So, you know, God, my phone's going off. I've never heard CPS say Daniel would not offer them a urine drug test if they were there for his for the children's behavior or learning disability. Shut up, Daniel.
I even go to Narcotics Anonymous.
Okay.
I do everything. Like I go to 3 times a week just to clear the air for all that bullshit. I mean, even
Daniel, why don't you Where do you go to Narcotics Anonymous, Daniel? Where do you go? Tell us. I'm very supportive of if you're doing that. But don't go there to clear your name. Go there to clear your body and your soul. That's what you go there for.
When it comes down to Jack and Lilly, I'm the only one from both sides of the family that is actually doing anything.
You are hella wrong. You are the only one, in my opinion, actively lying on top of lies. But Belinda is the only one. You're sorely mistaken.
I'm doing media all the time. They probably refuse to do media with you guys, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're not talking.
Yeah, they won't do anybody.
We learned through our reporting that Nova Scotia's Child Protection Office had been contacted by the kids' school out of concern about the way they were showing up at school. We don't know the specific details of what the concern was that prompted.
Oh, do you hear that, Daniel? They're calling you.
That
They're calling you. They're calling. The news is calling you out in the best way the news can. Listen to this.
We learned through our reporting that Nova Scotia's Child Protection Office had been contacted by the kids' school out of concern about the way they were showing up at school. We don't know the specific.
Oh, right. Daniel, they were calling you out right there in the best way that they can. The school contacted CPS because of the way the kids were showing up to school. That's not a behavioral at all. Boom shakalaka.
Specific details of what the concern was that prompted that call, but we do know that that caused a child protection worker to go to the children's house and interview their parents, and this was in the months before their disappearance.
I was looking through the Facebook page of the children's school to understand what their school life was like. I was really just curious about the types of things they did at school and, you know, what their lives were like there. And I came across a photo of Jack with a black eye. And so that photo was dated December 13th, 2024. It was 5 months before he and Lily disappeared.
5 months before Jack and Lily disappeared, and that is also around the time CPS showed up, right, Daniel? And Lily had a black eye when they went missing. 2 and 2 together. Daniel, I'm like you. I just put 2 and 2 together. Uh-oh. That's when you put 2 and 2 together, Mother Chicken. Not the way you do, Daniel. 5 months before they disappear, CPS is there. Black eye. The way the kids were showing up at school. And listen, the first time a teacher sees a child with a black eye, they don't report it generally. It's not just a one thing. It is generally a repeated behavior. Not behavior. It is a repeated thing that they keep coming up to school. So Jack's got a black eye. Around the time CPS shows up, Lily's got a black eye the time they go missing. Huh. But you know, guys, Daniel says they've had several black eyes for a 4 and a 6-year-old. It's a pattern. Bingo, Pink Rose. Yes. And not, what was I going to say? I forgot. But yeah. Shows you what's happening here. Shows you, oh, it's not from a toy. Not from a toy.
I asked Daniel how Jack received the black eye in December, and he didn't respond. But in private Facebook messages that were shared with me, he acknowledged that
they always watch the pattern before reporting. Always watch the pattern. Always.
Jack had many black eyes.
Listen to that again.
December, and he didn't respond.
Listen to this.
So that photo was dated December 13th, 2024. It was 5 months before he and Lily disappeared. I asked Daniel how Jack received the black eye in December, and he didn't respond. But in private Facebook messages that were shared with me, he acknowledged that Jack had many black eyes. He said Lily even had a black eye when Jack and Lily disappeared from an incident that happened on May 1st, the day before the children went missing.
Yeah, but remember, Lily had a cough. Justin 911 text. Okay, 1 second. All right, guys, we got some breaking news. It may or may not be involved, but maybe. There is a public advisory. Make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Okay. 1 minute ago, RCMP officers are on Pictou Landing Road for an operation. At this time, there is no threat to public safety. Residents can expect to see a large police presence in the area. Pictou Landing Road is temporarily closed. Please avoid this area. My fucking heart is beating through my claim it. We claim it, Lord. Please. Hours ago, Justin. I don't when was that? That was this morning? It was just posted? Let me go to RCMP 1 second. One second. Is it RCMP Nova Scotia? What is it under? Can somebody send me the link? Yes, Elizabeth. Hold on. Can someone send me the link to that? I can't find it. Some people are saying it was this morning. I didn't see it. Did they delete it? It was on Facebook. It's not there now that I see. Yeah, I see that one too, Stacy, but I don't see it anywhere else. Why would they delete it though? That's what I don't understand. Why would they delete it regardless? If it has something to do or nothing to do with it, it doesn't have a date. It just says 1 minute on my end. Enoch says he thought it was yesterday. Daphne just sent it to me. Let me see here 1 second. They deleted it. One second. Okay. I think it's unrelated, completely unrelated. Let me show you this. Because yesterday at 6:09, updated 9:56 p.m., RCMP officers have taken the person into custody safely. Officers remain on scene to continue the investigation. Thank you. RCMP officers are on Pictou Landing Road in Pictou Landing responding to a situation involving a armed person who was barricaded himself in the residence. Totally unrelated. Damn. Totally unrelated. Okay, so now we know. Now we know. Now we know. Damn. We're going to keep praying. We're going to keep praying. Ugh. My heart just beat out of my chest. Well, they deleted the other one. And then
he said
updated
a Tonka truck that she pushed down on swung up and hit her in the face.
We know that Scott Armstrong, Nova Scotia's.
I don't know why. It was up and then they took it down. Maybe they accidentally uploaded it again. I don't know.
Minister responsible for child welfare has looked into this case.
No,
he will not discuss the specifics of it, but he says he's cooperating with the police, and if there will be a time when we can question him.
Very important.
Missing. He said a Tonka truck.
Hold on, listen to this. We missed it.
It was 5 months before he and Lily disappeared. I asked Daniel how Jack received the black eye in December, and he didn't respond. But in private,
Daniel would not respond to how the Tonka truck, forget about the Tonka truck. Daniel would not respond about how Jack got the black eye. But then she says this.
Facebook messages that were shared with me, he acknowledged that Jack had many black eyes. He said,
wouldn't tell her for the interview why Jack had a black eye, but then later acknowledged that Jack had many black eyes, a 4-year-old, many black eyes.
Lily even had a black eye when Jack and Lily disappeared from an incident that happened on May 1st, the day before the children went missing.
Right. A 4-year-old that has many black eyes in December. Also, CPS comes out in December. The children go missing on May 2nd. Also, Lily, who they claim has a cough, vanishes. That's not a coincidence. He needed time to think up a reason. Absolutely, Joyous. 1000%.
He said a Tonka truck that she pushed down on swung up and hit her in the face.
We know that Scott.
All you got to do is look at little Renesmee's picture. I feel it's the exact same thing that was going on in that house.
Armstrong, Nova Scotia's minister responsible for child welfare, has looked into this case. He will not discuss the specifics of it, but he says he's cooperating with the police, and if there will be a time when we can question how the system responded, he will discuss that publicly. But he said for now he wants to focus on getting a resolution and finding these kids. But there's a lot of questions about how the system may or may not have missed warning signs around the home life of these children. And we do know Nova Scotia is one of the few provinces in Canada that does not have a child and youth advocate. And that is a specialized position that can look at how
that's really sad.
There's a lot of folks prove the way that it handles child welfare. Went to the house and talked to the parents. System responded. We know that child protection officer went to the house and talked to the parents. So the system in some ways did try to act as it should, but this is happening in an environment where the child protection system in Nova Scotia appears to be very broken. So there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered about what exactly happened after that visit to the kids' home before they disappeared.
I think the police, the RCMP, I think Canada as a whole is too soft on crime, like sentencing. Just my opinion.
Well, 4.5 months later after Jack and Lilly disappeared, the country is baffled, and frankly, the online community is obsessed with what happened to Jack and Lilly. There are so many conspiracy theories. There are a lot of theories as well based on some of the facts, some of the interviews that have been out there. And all of it has just led to this voracious demand in the face of what really is
I'm not sure.
Fodder for
you guys, and it's absolutely disturbing.
What is that like?
Well,
1 second.
Went missing, and it's created a lot of suspicion in the area.
It jeopardizes investigation, right?
People have already made up their minds.
Yeah, I know.
What is that like?
Well, I get messages every day. People still call me child killer. You killed the children. Where are the bodies? I get that every day. I can show you guys, and it's absolutely disturbing what people say.
People are sending you Facebook messages?
Yeah, constantly.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Constantly. I just ignore them.
What do you want those people to know? Those folks who are reaching out to you? Are these strangers? Are these people that know you?
No, they're all strangers from all over the world. It's worldwide, yeah.
And just sending you a message on Facebook saying...
Yeah, because I always keep my messages open so anyone can message me. That's why it takes me so long to get back to everybody, because I have hundreds and hundreds of messages.
And it's complicated for things for us, right? Trying to do actual reporting on the ground. Some of the folks in this community, they don't see a big difference between a YouTuber in the UK or the US.
All right.
And his role in their lives. We found his mother, Belinda Gray, when we arrived.
Let me find it. 1 second.
It's not a good separation. That my son distanced himself from the ones that.
Or sorry, Malaya was reading the messages last night from Malaya. Malaya said Daniel gave her an ultimatum that it was either him or her friends. Him or her friends. And there was one friend she was allowed to talk to, but she didn't get to talk to very often. You should have took your friends, Malaya. You should have took your friends. Where did he say that? What did Brandy say? Emailed you to. You did count 1 second. 1 second. In Malaya's statement, she said that Danny Boy Meadow left to get breakfast. No mention of Jack and Lilly. Question is, how are 3 kids sleeping in the car when her statement is so strange? Okay, I got that. Okay. Oh my God, it's 10:20, guys. I have got to wrap it up here. I just realized that I've got to be on shares. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you all. I'll check my emails here in just a little bit. I promise. I've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I've got to be on a panel. You guys are amazing, amazing, amazing pearls. I thank you all so much. We're working a lot behind the scenes on this as well. Hopefully, Daphne and we're going to try to do some things tomorrow in this case. Try to get some more answers. So we talked about it today and all that. So maybe we can get something. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Much love. Appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.